Hello, Brickdart here. Today I'm reviewing the Buildable The Child, which has 1,073 pieces, one figure, and retails for $80 in the United States. So here's the little child figure, aka Grogu, aka Baby Yoda. This is actually two pieces. You have the separate headpiece that just attaches to the baby mold piece. And this is pretty cute. I will say I don't think it's the best mold I could have chosen, but it looks pretty good. I wouldn't mind them to see that use that one from the holiday special teaser trailer. That one looks much cuter and has its own little specially molded torso. You can see there's just some nice printing of that adorable little jacket he wears. And you can turn the head. It is a rubber. And overall, just a nice figure. This is the second cheapest way to get it, with the cheapest being that $30 Trouble on Tatooine. And he also comes in the Razor Crest. So this is right in the middle at $80. As with all other of these like buildable figure, I don't know what to call them, but these kind of figures, it comes with a pseudo UCS stand, which has some information about the child, being that he's only about 1 foot tall, which is really adorable. This is a sticker on just a big plate, and they did actually change up the connection where it's now clips. Previous renditions, it was always hinges, so that's an interesting change. You have a space for the child minifigure or figure, and then there's just some bits at the back to help it be stabilized, and you can't push it backwards anymore, so it's always at this nice slant as the maximum thing. You can adjust it if you want, but it's going to look the best on that slant. That's about it for this little stand. Now let's take a look at the actual buildable Grogu. Now, I'm gonna be completely honest, this is a little shorter than I was expecting it to be. However, while it may not be as tall as I thought it would be, it is really sturdy. This thing is not going to fall apart, other than maybe like the fingers or something. This thing is sturdy. This thing is, it's not gonna fall apart. You have this strong Technic skeleton on the inside. They do actually cover up for the first time. On previous models like the Porg and the actual Yoda, it was exposed. Now that's completely covered up. And these types of builds I always find to be really enjoyable, where you're putting on like layers of different plates, and it all comes together to make this really nice looking robe design. It just looks really good. You even have it tiled off up here, and that looks just really good. Starting with some posability, you can move these fingers up and down. You can rotate these hands. And then he also does come with a little Razor Crest. It says shift knob. It's just like that little ball he plays with, and that's just two of the globe pieces in silver with a little build inside. Really interesting build. And then, if you can kind of see, he does have printed eyes. I don't know if you can see that, but he does have a small print for the eyes, which I think is really good. They just went above and beyond. You can open up the mouth, and there's a little tongue inside, as well as a gray bit, which you can interpret as teeth. And then you can also move these ears up and down. I personally think it's the cutest when they're down like this. And then you can also just rotate the head, just whole bunch. It's on a ball joint in the middle, so you can get a lot of different just ways to display this. But this is definitely a display piece. This isn't a play thing. This isn't really going to be something like a little 6-year-old is going to get much value of, I feel like. This is definitely more something for like people who like to display things, and for that it's really good. You can just see more of that excellent robe detailing. It's quite a long building process, and I did mess up with the Technic skeleton at one point, but it's really worth it. This looks really good. One minor thing I have is the head is a little flat, but it's not that big of a deal. Maybe just like one plate more would have maybe fixed that. And it's not not that big of a deal. You can see how it's just nicely rounded off at the back. You even have the little things inside his ears. It's just a really, really good figure. It's really good build. And I'm going to grab some of the other buildable figures that I have so we can compare this to the others. So here's the Grogu next to all of the previous one of these buildable figures. You can see Yoda absolutely towers above all of them. And I think Grogu may be tied for the shortest with BB-8, although the Porg is looking kind of short. Let's just pull him a little closer. Now, the Porg is tall. I think Grogu is the shortest one. However, it's still really sturdy. And all of these are just very sturdy, but just to show a comparison, this is Grogu next to all of the previous buildable figures. And I think it's quite an interesting size comparison. Box for this is really thick. On the back, it just shows some alternate shots, and interesting, this does have punch holes despite being an American or North American box, which is interesting. Instructions are big. Back you have the parts checklist as well as a minifigure checklist and a set checklist for the summer wave. Interestingly, this set is not on here. I do want to get all of these sets pictured here except for Anakin Starfighter and General Grievous's Starfighter, because both of those just they're not worth it, especially with the inaccurate figures. But I do want to get all of these sets, and I'll probably start with these two. That's about it for the instructions. If you're a fan of The Mandalorian, this is definitely a set for you. The Baby Yoda Grogu just looks really good. They really just get the robe down, and it's one of the best building experiences. This and that buildable Yoda from last year are just some of the best building experiences you can have. Like, I don't know, they're just really satisfying to put together and see just the robe detailing. It's just really good. For $80, I definitely recommend this. It is a little shorter than I was expecting, but it makes up for that because it's so sturdy. Like, the only things that are coming off are maybe some of the fingers and that little ball he has in his hand. Nothing else really is gonna come off if you, like, throw this at something. I definitely recommend this. I give this a 9 out of 10. Really good looking set. They really went above and beyond with the detailing here. The small complaint is that the head is a little flat, but it's not that big of a deal. It's not a lot of people are going to see this and think, oh, he got hit on the head with an anvil. No, it's fine. It's just, if it was a little more round, the set would be absolutely perfect. But still, as it stands, this set is really good. I highly recommend it if you're a fan of The Mandalorian. For $80, I absolutely recommend this. And you even get a little Baby Yoda minifigure. Who doesn't love a little Grogu minifigure? I absolutely recommend this. If you like The Mandalorian, definitely get this. This is just such a good set. Anyways, that's it for this video. See you guys later. Peace.